Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's live webinar. I was away for a couple of weeks, so I could not bring any live programs for last couple of weeks, but we started today again, and I'm bringing you a special topic today to discuss. We are discussing virtual assistant mentoring and access to work, what you should know. You probably know that I'm doing this live webinar every Tuesday from Neurodivergent Business Consortium. And I also do live webinar in my other channel, Zenzi Marketing Agency and Time Research and Innovation. So in relation with my expertise in working with versatile field, I wear many hats, but one of them is my NBC Neurodivergent Business Consortium, supporting individuals through their business, mentoring, and so on. So I specifically tailor methodology for technology-enhanced decision-making, business development, and marketing. So everything I do is related to data and as well as enhanced decision-making through informed decision through data. So thank you, everyone, for joining today's live webinar. I'm Dr. Shah Siddiqui from Neurodivergent Business Consortium, Time Research and Innovation, and Zenzi Marketing Agency. I also have some other wing that I do specifically work and support people. And you know that I continuously do live webinar on LinkedIn and all other social media. If you wanted to ask me any question, feel free to ask me through the comment box, through the social media, specifically on LinkedIn, and I will try to answer those questions. Otherwise, it's going to be a very informative session today to talk about virtual assistant mentoring and access to work. Those who are in the UK, is relevant to the people. They are in business or in work. Access to work is a benefits system that tailored for people. They have disabilities, neurodiversity, mental health problem, and so on. So if you are watching this program from any other parts of the world, it might not be relevant, but it is better to know what is out there because every countries in the world, they will have some facilities and special things tailored or special things dedicated to people. They are they have health conditions. So if you wanted to know more details, let me know. I do regular programs. I also support from people's in the UK from my organization NBC and TRI to support them with specific mentoring, specialist mentoring, as well as virtual works, and supporting them to their needs, what they are required. So in relation with access to work, you probably, if you are in work, some of the things that I wanted to mention it today. Some people, they still do not know that how can they, if they're eligible for access to work, or if they have any problem, those problems, can they get support from the access to work, the government funded projects. I'm working with many individuals right now, and you'll be glad to know that access to work will support you. They have a mechanism and framework as well. So you need to fall into that framework, and they will support you whatever support you needed. So the support is specifically with specialist mentorships, like if you need mental health support, if you need any other support, like you need expertise to understand technology, you need expertise to understand business, you need expertise to do day-to-day activities. So a lot of other things you can get access to, and that is paid from the access to work services. You don't need to invest any money on that, but you have to have in work. So if you're working self-employed, you have to have a viable business, and you need to earn a certain threshold. And as well as if you are working under any company, they can also support with you these access to work grants. So it's a great help, because sometimes a little bit help can steer your growth to the next level. So anyone you are watching this webinar, please you can go to the .gov website in the UK, and if you write access to work, you will see you will find lots of information, tons of information over there, that who you need to be and how you can access this. And I will also share my screen in a minute to give you an overview of the access to work .gov webpage, that what is out there and what you know, what you need to know. Just give me a couple of seconds. I'm just going to share my screen with you in a minute. And as well as we are finalizing, we have our NVC website, and you can find out specific information over there as well. We are just in progress of launching our new ATW access to work funnel. So we support individuals with people within our organization. So if you are looking for help and support, we can tailor the methodology for you and apply for, on behalf of you, to the access to work. Just give me a second. Just get the details out. It's a continuous process. Sometimes it takes 6 to 12 weeks, and sometimes more, sometimes less, depends on the pressure of the access to work or government. So if you are thinking to apply, it is better to understand your capacity and what you need to know first, rather than applying it, because it will go through with a specific way of measuring that, okay, do you really need this, or if you need this, how it will benefit you. Because there's one thing that you need to understand. I will just increase the fonts, my screen size. One thing that you need to understand, that access to work is not for those people, they are not in work. There's one thing. First thing, that if you are not in work, any form, like you could be you could be working as individuals, you could be working in a company. So two things you need to understand, that you have to be in work. So if you're working and you need additional support, you can apply for the access to work. So if you go to the .gov website, access to work, get support if you have a disability or health conditions. So if you have a disability and health condition, try to understand that disability and health conditions. So if you do not have disability or health condition, you are not qualified for this. First thing. Second thing, the first thing, you have to be in work. Doesn't matter you are self-employed or you are working with someone or under someone, some companies. This is the thing. And if we go to eligibility, you can see it will go to the eligibility section. So a part of access to work, you may eligible for a grant to help pay for practical support of your work. Try to understand practical support with your work, as I described earlier, that you will be able to get support specifically when you need practical support. Support with managing your mental health at work. So if you have mental health problem, you know that we have mental health problems. I have mental health problems. So if we need to manage your mental health problems, you can get supported. For those type of support, you must have a physical or mental health condition or disability. That means you need support to do your job or get to and from work. So this is another thing that I described earlier. you need to have a conditions and mental health support. I'm repeating again. You have to be 16 and over, because if you're not 16 and over, you are not eligible for this. Be in paid work. Please be aware, you have to be in paid work, as I described earlier. All you are looking for are return to work next within next 12 weeks. So if you are limited that, okay, you cannot return to work because you need these supports, or if you want to just start your work and without giving this support, you cannot return to work or start work in next 12 weeks, they will align your support specifically. And live and work in England and Scotland or Wales. So if you are living in the UK, you have to live in England, Scotland, or Wales. So otherwise, there is a different system for Northern Ireland. So if you are from Northern Ireland, you have to have a different system. But England, Scotland, Wales. So few things, a very specific eligibility criteria here. So if you follow these guidelines, you are eligible. So you need to measure yourself. Okay, what you have. Are you return to work, or are you starting a work? And then you have a physical or mental conditions that need support. You are 16 over. And you live in England, Scotland, and Wales. So these are the first criteria that you need to meet. And then is this other thing you need to worry about. Okay, how do you measure, like, okay, if you have disability? So if you have disability, you will know it, because you probably will be engaged with some health professionals. And if you have, like, okay, if you're autistic, if you're neurodiversity, that's one from mental health problems now characterized. So if you have neurodiversity, any form of, like, you are autistic, you are dyslexic, dypraxia, and all other list of neurodiversity, it treated as mental health. So you can have access to work grants. Physical disability. Physical disability is like, okay, you are deaf, you are blind, you have limited movements of your arms, legs, and a lot of other things is physical disability. So if you are classed as a physical disabled, you can also get support from access to work. Because why they are providing this support to you? Because you wanted to work, and that's the things matters. Because you know that there are many people there where many people they don't work in the UK. They have limited ability, or they have limitations, or some people without limitation, they don't work. It's like individual priorities. But why they prefer people to pay when they wanted to work? Because they wanted to prioritize to make you you work suitable for you. Then, okay, you can work nicely, you can work comfortably, and you contribute to the economy. So that's why they're providing you with this support. If you are on benefits, you know that if you are on benefits, when you start working, the access to work payments will not incur your benefits payments. But if you are in work, you need to earn a specific threshold that might affect your benefits. Because benefit is for those people they are not working, or they have limited works, and to adjust their living to the living state, that government pay you some money towards your cost. So you know that if you're earning something, it will be deducted from the overall threshold. But that's okay. Why? If you wanted to work, either way, we will earn more. Rather than the benefits is limited, so you cannot earn more while you cannot earn anything without going to work. So we are getting some questions from the audience. So, Zakir Khan, thank you very much for asking this. How can mentors or mentees ensure their relationship uh, is productive and mutually beneficial? Okay, there is a good question, Zakir. I will answer this question a little bit later. I just wanted to add a little bit value, and we also have other questions from the audience. Uh, and just let me check those questions here. Uh, okay, so what I will do, I will answer these questions. Please keep posting. I will try to answer these questions when I describe when I go through with my um, two of the access to work grant. So access to work supports greatly anyone they wanted to support their limitation. I also get access to work benefits. I also support individuals from my company, NBC Time Research and Innovation, to support them with a specific specialist mentorship, and as well as virtual assistant. Virtual assistant companies are flourishing nowadays. Uh, People usually hire them to support their day-to-day activities because they are not committed to a permanent role. If you are a business, if you are a self-employed, they are limited to temporary roles, and you can change them frequently if they do not tailor your methodology for you. So, um, virtual assistant is a key one for your work, because if you are working alone or within a company, if you need someone to prompt you with your work, like, okay, you are on a meeting and someone is with you to listen to your meeting, taking notes, and then later after the meeting addressing those notes for you, preparing your emails, writing your social media post, or correcting your social media post, or creating a specific document that is you needed, proofreading for you, and a lot of other tasks is done by the virtual assistant. And for a specialist mentor, it's like mentoring you if you have a mental health problem. Like, okay, you are suffering from a mental health problem. It could be any form. I'm not a mental health specialist, but if you have mental health problem, you can seek a specialist mentor for you to talk to them, the way they will deal with your mental health. Or a specialist mentor for technology. Like, okay, if you wanted to know in depth and you need a person all the time for you to guide you through for this digital innovation, like when you working through digital innovation, you need someone to guide you through. Specialist mentor, that's not virtual assistant anyway. Virtual assistant and specialist mentor is two different things. So these are the things that you can get support from access to work every month. There is a limitation for each of the grants. They will assess your application. Based on that, they might give you 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, and continuously after that. But you have to continually evolve what you do and how you do, how you are getting support, and then improving your work and earning money. So there is a threshold. As I said, this threshold changes every year due to the living cost and all other things. I'm not going to go into details, but if you apply to access to work grants, you will understand it properly, how it happens, how they access, how much you should earn to get a continuous grant. So thank you everyone for today's webinar. We are talking about access to work grants and mentorships and virtual assistant. There is a huge field out there. Some of you might not know that, okay, are you eligible for this access to work grant? We also assess and talk to people individually to see if you are eligible for this and if we can apply for with you. And please be aware as well, access to work will not directly pay you. Sometimes if you self-employed, sometimes they would pay you, but you need to, if there is a process over there, you need to hire the virtual assistant, giving their information to the access to work, and then you have to pay them first, and then after you pay them, then you ask the access to work to reverse your to pay your invoice to you. So there's things you can also work with a company like us. So you don't need to pay us after we tailor our methodology with you every month. After end of that month, we will ask for access to work. We will submit it. We will give all the documents to you, and we'll submit it, and they will pay us directly. So there is two, three ways it works, and this everything is for you, to support you to go to work, and support you to increase revenue stream, and to support you to add contribution to the economy. So sometimes, we are limited with our understanding. Like, okay, we even don't know that is this kind of support is available for anyone in the UK, United Kingdom. Sometimes we are in dark shadows. Like, okay, what should we do? We need support, and we cannot get support from other people. That's why we are doing programs like this, to understand your needs, to understand, okay, are you one of those person they undervalue yourself, or they don't know what to do. So if you talk to us specifically, we can tailor the access to work methodology for you, and understand specifically, are you eligible, or you can apply. And it takes 6 to 12 weeks sometimes to access your case, and it is a long process. So if when you apply for access to work, it will take at least a few weeks to assess them, and they will assess you as well. They have independent assessor. They will assess your needs. So there are a few things, as it described here, that specialist equipment. So if you think about specialist equipment, there are a few things you need to think of. Like, what are the specialist equipments they will provide you? Specialist equipments, like, you need a chair. So I have a chair. You can see my chair behind me. This is an agronomic chair. Agronomic chair are those people, they have back problems or sitting down problems. So I got this chair from Access to Work. They supported me. And you need a table. Like, okay, this table will give you more flexibility of work. So they will provide you a table specifically. If you don't need it, then you don't apply for the specific equipment. You need something like a mouse, you need something like a monitor, you need something like a PC, you need something like a glass, you need something like a software. So a lot of other things are out there. They will support you with those things. And also they will support with you training. Like, okay, you need, if you are autistic, if you are disabled, if you need or any other spectrum as well, if you need to know and learn more about those things, they will support you. Because sometimes if we are in a spectrum, or if we are disabled, we do not know a lot of other things, like, okay, how we can improve our capacity, how we can deal with specific situation, and know more about the specific conditions or disability, and be well informed. So they will also support you with this. So access to work benefits and support are tailored and specifically to support you, because the government, they want you to excel, they want you to contribute to the economy. And either way, if you are not accessing benefits, that's okay. You are working. If you are accessing benefits, so they will pay you the benefits, and you don't work. That's one thing. And if you are in work, they will not pay you the benefits, or they will reduce your benefits because you are earning some money, and they will pay you for access to work. So it's just like combination of support that you can get. And when you work, if you are highly talented, and if you are working with a company and you need this support, this is relatively uh, will tailor your methodology to the next levels. I get access to work support, and I know how it is supporting me day to day with my activities, with my virtual work, with my specialist mentors, and a lot of other things. You probably ask me, okay, you are a mentor, you do business developments, and you need a virtual assistant, or you need mentors. Yes, everyone does. I have some disabilities, I have some gaps, and those gaps, to fulfill those gaps, I need support. So I can share you one of the story that one of the things that I experienced previously. So I went to PIP 10, 12 years ago, and I could not get the PIP because I did not have that. I did not know how to apply for the PIP. That's one thing. And another thing is that the system is very crowded. So there is hundreds of thousands of people are accessing every year. And you need to know every individual bits and pieces when you apply for this kind of grants, because if you apply, they will give it to you. No, if you apply, you will go through with a process, and with that process they will finalize if you get this. So I was asked with the PIP that, okay, I'm very intelligent and I wanted to grow. That time I did not have my graduation, but I wanted to graduate, I wanted to get higher education like PhD and so on. And I was told, like, okay, we're very intelligent, so I might need PIP. But I did not know um, what I would do at that point. Now, after working 10, 12 years in this field, um, I know that that is my right, that is your right. So if you are in the UK, you have rights to apply for personal independence payments, or DLA, disability living allowances, and access to work if you are working. That is your rights. This is the laws that government, they should help you if you fall under these circumstances, if you fall all of those things. So your maturity, your mental sickness, your talent is totally different. You are very talented, but you might have special needs. So that is totally different. So no one can ignore your special needs due to your talent. You may be earning lots of money, doesn't matter. You earning lots of money doesn't matter, but if you are eligible for this kind of things, you should apply, because this is your rights. It will not hinder anything. So sometimes people, they hesitate. I would say, don't hesitate, understand your rights, understand what you are qualified for, and apply for it. And that's a good thing. I did not apply for a disabled badge because I am partially disabled. I cannot work long distance, and I have problems with my mobility. Why? Because I did not think I should have a disabled badge. But I was bullied with many people, working with the sticks after my operation, few years. Um, and I realized that there are some people, they don't like disabled people, and I have to walk a long distance. I could not park my car without a disabled badge to a dedicated space. And then I spoke to someone, and they said, okay, this is your right. If you do not apply for it, if you do not get your rights, um, you just you I forgot the word. So if it is your right and you are not accessing it, you're losing something. So if this is your right, so if you wanted to apply, see if you're qualified for those things, and then apply for it. I will now go to answer some questions. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's live webinar. And we are talking about access to work and specific mentorships and a virtual assistant today. I have one question, the first question from Ridwan. So you asked me, what role does mentoring play in building confidence and professionalism? That's a very nice question, Redwan. When you talk about mentorship and access to work combination together, mentorship is a thing you cannot tailor that. Why? Because when you hire someone to mentor you, that means that you have some gaps and you wanted to improve those gaps. That's why your mentor are there to support you for that, fulfill that gaps. So when you fulfill that gaps, you don't need that mentor anymore. So you might have other gaps, you can hire other mentor. I had mentor, and still I have mentor. I talk to them regularly, and specifically to build my thinking, to solve my problems, to support me with my gaps. So there are some people, they might think, okay, they don't have any gaps. That's okay. It's up to them. But as a business person and having neurodiversity and disability, uh, everyone, I would say, most of the people, they will have some gaps, and they need some support in that, in relation with business, personal life, mental health, financial management, and a lot of other things. If you're working towards, you might have some gaps. So you have to have that mentality, red one. uh, you have to understand that you have gaps, you have problems. If you do not understand that you have gaps, you have problems, then there isn't any need for anyone to support you. So that's one thing. Second thing, when you have someone like, okay, you understood that you have some gaps, and you wanted to we wanted to engage with someone, a mentor, to support you with your problems. When you engage with someone, you might not like them when you start working. At that instance, if your value and their value is not like matching together, you might feel frustrated. So before you engage with someone, because there are huge databases of mentors in the UK or elsewhere. Uh, thousands of mentors, they're working to support individuals. So check their profiles, check their socials, if they're active on socials or not. One thing, if they're active on socials, or if they have specifically a place you can read about them, understand their work, and then you understand, okay, if their value and your value are matching up together, and then you can hire them to support with. And building confidence and professionalism is the next thing. So you have a problem, you hired someone to solve that problem, and you need to listen to them. That's another thing. Because sometimes with my experience, I also have experience that someone hired me, but they not wanted to listen to me. So if you hire someone, if you don't listen to them, there isn't anything that you can do. That they cannot build your confidence, there isn't any professionalism out there. So what I do and what I advise individually, like, when you hire someone as a mentor, they might guide you through, and they have to be professional as well, because every individual person is different in this world. So if I'm mentoring you, I'm individuals, you are another individual. So some of the characteristics will match, some of them will not. So what you need to do, you have to tailor your methodology for the intended purpose. Intended purpose means you are Redwan and I'm supporting you. So I need to know what is your gaps and how I can tailor my methodology with your value, with your subject areas, with all of those things you wanted to tailor to grow. So then it will match properly, and you can build confidence and you can build professionalism. Otherwise, if it's not matched, tailored, you cannot grow your confidence, because your mentor will say one thing, you will do another thing, and the professionalism, if I say, it will not be there. So thank you very much for your questions. If you have any other question, please feel free to ask me. We are nearly in middle of our session. We have another live audio events tomorrow, and as well as we have a webinar on Thursday. And you know that Thursday we do ND Business Club webinar, and I do live every month, second Thursday. So every month, second Thursday, I do live with Anna Bloomington, and we do live specifically different subject areas, and we cover a wide range of subject areas. And we're also planning for next year what we would do next year events. So we're going to be having some in-person events and as well as some online events. And we also wanted to plan for a petition to the UK government. We're going to be planning that for as well. So our Thursday going to be again access to work with Anna. So we're going to be going together live from the Ferrum Innovation Center. So this is going to be our live together from Ferrum Innovation Center. We will join with you, and we're going to be talking more about access to work and essential resources, like what you should have, how you should have. We're going to be talking our success stories and how we have applied. Anna, she's a neurodivergent as well. She also get access to work support. So we're going to be talking more about our success stories and how you can support yourself. So tomorrow we have an audio event, and Thursday with Anna we have another live webinar. And please stay tuned and check those dates. And if you have any question, please feel free to ask those questions on each of the events. So I will go to the next questions that was asked by Zakir. And you asked, how can mentors and mentees ensure their relationship is productive and mutually beneficial? As you know, Zakir, that I have discussed earlier, like why it has to be mutually beneficial. Because if you hire someone, even if your line manager do not understand what you wanted to do, and you do not understand the message of your line manager, the wish of your line manager, and what he want you to do, then there going to be a difficult time for you and for your line manager. So when you give a work, for myself, when I assign work to anyone, I'm very much focused on how do I assign them. So if they do not understand it properly, I go through with it several times, and I also ask them, okay, this is my task. So if you do not understand this specific task, please question, because you need to ask questions. Sometimes some mentors and some line manager, they do not like you to ask questions, but that's up to them. But if you are a versatile mentors, and if you are working with someone, you should encourage your mentees to ask you question. Doesn't matter it is relevant, it is irrelevant, there isn't make any sense, doesn't matter. Sometimes a question asked by the mentee will not make any sense. It's okay. You have to give the freedom to your mentees that the relationship should be friendship rather than superior or inferior. So you are not like this, one of above. You are like this. So you're going to be together working hands by hands, supporting each other. Then it will be productive, and the relationship will build, and it will be mutually beneficial. Otherwise, I have seen many mentors, they don't have good relation with their mentees and they fall apart. I also seen if your value is not similar, then the relation fell apart. So there it can happen. But at the end, you have to have a good relation with everyone. My mother-in-law, I gave this remark most of the time, that never ever destroy your relation with anyone. Doesn't matter who they are and what they do, if they are not harmful to you, and if they are not ethical, Like, oh, there are some people they are unethical, so I wouldn't ask you to keep your relation with the people they have their ethics is not right. But if people they are ethical, but your value and their value doesn't um, fulfill each other, that's fine. You can leave, you can find someone else, but do not destroy your relation with them, because in the future you do not know, your value might change. You might get different directions. So at that point, you might get more maturity than the previous years. So you might get someone to support you. Those people you might wanted to talk to them again. You might want their support again. So better keep your relation in a steady way, and golden handshake. Like, okay, I do not like what you do. It doesn't match up with my values or what I wanted to do. So thank you very much. Maybe in the future we will work together. But for now, uh, I'm okay. So that's the thing. So Zakir, I think hope you have understand the value, and you understand the productivity and why it is mutual beneficial. If it's not mutual beneficial, that's okay. You don't need to be benefited all the time. But if you want to change your direction, you can change it nicely, in a good way, that I would say. So thank you everyone for joining today's live webinar. I am Dr. Shah Siddiqui from Neurodivergent Business Consortium, and you know that I have other hats on, Time Research and Innovation, Zinzi Marketing Agency, and we have launched a new product, Sales Funnel Accelerator, to support individual with sales end-to-end process. So keep an eye on our regular program, because we're going to be doing lots of programs end of this year and um, next year. So a lot of programs is coming on. I'm also planning for a series of webinar uh, within LinkedIn, engaging with businesses, specifically US, UK, and other global business. So I'm going to be bringing more webinar to talk about different things. You probably know that I have joined Green Threads as a COO, and we are supporting Green Threads specifically as a team member. So if you talk about if you need anything related sustainability, or you are on sustainability in textile industry, feel free to contact me or anyone of the Green Threads team. We have a versatile team, and we wanted to grow our expertise on textile industry. We are collaborating with many people. So last week, before last week, end of last month, we went to Tunisia for a sustainability conference with the University of Manuba and Federation of Small Business Textile Businesses at Tunisia. We're going to be working more. We're also collaborating with a few universities like Bournemouth University, Arts University Bournemouth, and the London School of Fashion. So we are collaborating with a lot of people with our sustainability program. So if you wanted to support us with sustainability, feel free to contact me or any of the team. You will find all the details with my LinkedIn accounts. You will see Green Threads over there, as I'm supporting Green Threads at the moment, as well as this channel for Neurodivergent Business Consortium. I'm not stopped. So I'm going to be continually working with these, supporting you to get you out there, get your message across all the platforms in social media, supporting you with technology, supporting you with your mentorships, and a lot of other things. So thank you for sending me questions. So I have next question. What challenges do people face when applying for ATW? That's a very good question, Salodin. You know that access to work and applying to access to work sometimes is pain. Why it is pain? Because we do not understand our core disabilities or support. So sometimes we think that, okay, will access to work support us with these things? That's a good question. Like, okay, you need to ask that question to you. Okay, like maybe creating a Excel document, I would say. So when create an Excel document, you write your disabilities. Sometimes people, they do not like to discuss their disabilities with others, and that instance we cannot help. Why? Because if you do not know your disabilities, if they do not know, access to work do not know, they do not know your disabilities, they cannot help. So we need to declare your disabilities. That's the first thing, if you're brave enough. So if you're, and you need to look for, if you have a mental health problems, like any sort of mental health problems, and if you are seeing any medical professionals. Sometimes for access to work, you don't need to see any medical professionals. If you think that, okay, you have some, there are varieties of tools online. If you go to our website, web page, nbconsortium.com, you will see there is a specific section for ND resources to find specific tools to understand. Okay, if you fall any of those, you can find it online, and you don't need a certification from a health professional for you to apply for access to work. And normally people don't know that, and that's the thing. So you need to talk to professional people. So when you know, okay, you have some disabilities, list them on an Excel document. Like, okay, you have problems with reading, that's one thing. You are dyslexic, that's one thing. You have physical disabilities, that's one thing. You are deaf, that's another thing. I'm just talking myself, all my disabilities. So if I list it, it's like 20 or 30 different type of disabilities, but I'm still working, getting support. I'm conveying, I'm changing, I'm trying to change the world indifferently. So you might have disability, and those disabilities, they cannot limit you. If you want to grow, you maybe know Stephen Hawkins, the greatest scientist of what I would say, the greatest scientist. He was in wheelchair, isn't it? And he created different theories and a lot of other things. And he could not communicate due to motor neuron disease. You know that there are other people. So Rob Barrow, you probably know, he just died a few months earlier due to the motor neuron disease. And there are other peoples as well. So you might have different disabilities, and you need to list those disabilities. You need to talk to health professionals, or talk to people, mental health people, psychiatrists, and a lot of other things. And if you do not want it to get to them, you probably go to your GP. So talk to your GP, your doctor, like, okay, you have these problems. Because if you do not discuss your problems with the health professionals, then no one can solve your problems. You will not get the guidance. So before you apply for access to work benefits, you need to understand, okay, you are eligible, you live in the UK, England and Wales, and you need specific support, including mentorships, virtual assistant, specific specialist equipment. You list them. If you wanted to book a session with me or any of my team, they will also go through with all the things, all the questions. We have a questionnaire we will ask you, and then we will create specifically, okay, this is the things we think that you might need support with, and then we will apply together to the access to work to get your support in place from them. And it takes time, 12 weeks at least, 6 to 12 weeks. So in between that, but it's a great help. It's a great help. So if you are thinking, okay, you might have these disabilities, and you are confused sometimes as well, like, okay, do I have these disabilities, or I have not these disabilities? You need to do a bit of research before you apply, because we can do that for you as well. Like, talking to you would be a great help before you apply. Some people, they will say, okay, I have their disabilities, and I apply, and they refused, the access to work refused, because it's a framework. So when you apply to a framework, there are some questions they have to take. So if they take all the questions that you need access to work support, you will get it. But if your application is not up to the mark and you are confused about it, you will not get it, because you need to know what you need and then apply right, and then you will get the benefits. So it's a long time, it's a long work. So we do support with access to work. For individual person, we are launching a new site for access to work, so where you will get all our success stories. You will get all the all the information that you are required to apply for access to work, and you will feel confident, and we can support you with end-to-end process. So Salahuddin, I hope you have I have answered your question. So I have another question here from Norin. So Norin said, can you share tips on finding a specialist mentor who can support you? Okay. We have discussed today again and again about specialist mentor who can support you. So there are many people out there for to support you specifically. So each mentor for a session will cost you around £100 to 300 or £400 or £500 or £1,000. So depends who you are looking for. And access to work, if you wanted to get a specialist mentor through access to work, they also have a mechanism of payment. If you go for someone, okay, they charge you £1,000, they will not pay you that because they have a standard elements. So they have a standard budget for, okay, for a specialist mentor, they will only pay this much. They will not pay the additional money. So if you hire someone and then you need to pay more money, then you have to tip that money. And access to work will only pay a specific amount that you are eligible. So that's one thing. Second thing, when you're looking for specialist mentor, you need to understand, as I said, value. First, value. So what is your value? And you know that people's value with time, it can change. So if I give my example of 10 or 20 years back, now my value has shifted differently in different stages. My choices also shifted. My working capacity also grown. So a lot of different things happen last 20 years. So if you are a young person, you are looking for someone to support you, you need to know exactly which specific area you wanted to improve, because there are mentors out there, they cannot do all the specific areas you wanted to support you with, because specifically I'm a technologist and I understand technology very well. I'm a marketer. I understand social media, digital marketing very well, television production, and a lot of other things. So I have few hats. So I understand quite a bit of areas. But some people, they might understand only technology. They don't understand anything about business development. They don't understand anything about marketing. So if you are hiring someone for your specialist mentor, you need to see, okay, the person can fulfill your needs. And that is relatively specifically 1 needs, 2 needs, 3 needs, 4 needs. So you might hire someone that you need to understand about technology. So hire someone, they can mentor you to understand technology. That's one tick box done. Second, you need to understand marketing. You hire someone to understand marketing. Tick box done. You need support with mental health. We hire someone, they can talk to you and they can support with you mental health. That's tick box done. So there is a relatively different ways to look for your mentors, and it's a continuous process. You never know what support you need in which stages. So if you can prioritize, if you can find, if you can ask yourself a question, and then you see all of your gaps, you list all of your gaps, as I informed earlier. You have to have gaps, you have to have um, you have specific needs. So when you have gaps and specific needs, you can fulfill that with the person. They know it better, engaging them as your mentor. Otherwise, you cannot, because if you do not have a problem, then why you do need mentors? Why you do need people to support you with? So first, you need to understand your needs and then tailor your methodology to hire someone to support you. I think, Noreen, you have got your answer. And we're nearly end of our session. It's just few minutes left. So if you wanted to ask me any other question, feel free to ask me through the comment box. And this program is recorded also. So if you wanted to get a recap of this program, you can find it on the same section on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube pages. We're going to be integrating some more social media next year. So stay tuned with all of our programs. We're going to be bringing some new programs. We are planning some more programs, live programs. We also, you will good to know that we're also developing a podcast app to list all the podcasts. So for neurodivergent people specifically. So if you're a neurodivergent, you are podcasting, like doing webinar and shorts and a lot of other things. So we are developing a platform, so where people can go and listen to neurodiversity, listen to different things, and add knowledge and get sorted if they have any problems within. So next year, a big year is coming for us. We have huge successes this year, and we wanted to celebrate it together. We have few more webinars for this year for Neurodivergent Business Consortium. So I just wanted to go through all the webinars that we do in next couple of weeks. Although we know that it is a festive seasons, and we're going to be busy with family trip and all other things. But still, we will go live with different dates. So the next, we are doing another access to work. Why do you need to consider access to work if you need additional support? So we're going to be talking in depth for that. We're going to be doing another Christmas specials on the Christmas Eve. Is like how to prepare and plan for 2025. So that is our another program. And 31st, we're going to be doing newer special, how to grow faster in 2025 by accelerating your sales funnel. So that's all the programs that we have for this year. And you for the 31st January, we're going to be talking more in depth for sales funnel accelerator. 31st of December, sorry, we're going to be talking more on sales funnel accelerator, how we can grow your business and excel to the next level. You know that these are the core methodology for anyone to grow. So if you do not understand your sales pipeline, and if that is not built for you, you cannot grow. So a lot of programs lined up for us end of this like next couple of weeks. So we're going to be talking about access to work in a few more programs, and as well as sales funnel and how you can plan for 2025. So we have another 3 weeks until Christmas. So I hope you have understood and you have enjoyed today. And if you have any further question, feel free to ask me apart from this program, and you can also post questions to these event sections on the comment section, where we will try to answer you those questions. And please spread the word. You might not need support from access to work, but your friends, your family, they might need support from access to work or any other specific support from the government. So this is your right. So you need to prepare yourself for the funding, and you will get it specifically if you prepare your case the way you need help from, because it has to be very clear which area you need support and how you can get support from Access to Work. So I hope I will talk to you in the next couple of weeks, and please watch our all the programs that we are doing. So tomorrow we're going to doing one audio events, and Thursday we are doing with Anna Remington more talk about Access to Work. Friday we're going to be doing a sales webinar with Chris Silverwood from Coastal Tide. So a few more events this week, and next week please check our pages to know what is out there. And thank you for your time today, and I will welcome you tomorrow and rest of my events, live events. And I appreciate your support so far, and we are trying to contribute more on this channel. So for today, bye bye, and see you on my next program.